How Palantir is helping hospitals with tasks that used to require spreadsheets. So this article was published on CNBC in June of 2023, and this has essentially triggered my interest around Palantir, both as a company and also a potential stock investment. So are they really going to kill off Microsoft? Let's find out in this video. So valuations aside, let's first try to understand a little bit about the company's history and also the story behind the stock itself. So Palantir was actually founded back in 2003, with Peter Thiel being one of its co-founders. So for those of you who don't actually know who Peter Thiel is, he is unofficially part of this group called the PayPal Mafias by the media. So essentially, the PayPal Mafia group comprises of many successful entrepreneurs who essentially helped build PayPal in the much early days. And amongst them are successful entrepreneurs like Elon Musk, who went on to build Tesla, like most of you should know, and SpaceX, Steve Chen, who co-founded YouTube, and there are many more other outstanding individuals. Thiel himself has actually gone on to build and invest in multiple successful businesses post his PayPal days, making him one of the richest men in the world today. So back to Palantir, even though Palantir was founded some 20 years ago, they only went public back in September of 2020 through a direct listing. So some of you might be wondering what a direct listing is. To cut the long story short, an IPO is when a company issues new shares and are sold to the public, while through a direct public offering, or a direct listing in this case, they are essentially selling existing shares created and distributed without a need for underwriting. So after Palantir went public, investors probably didn't know what they've signed up for. From October of 2020 to January of 2021, Palantir rallied from sub $10 to over $35 a pop, and that's more than 280% in a short 4 months. Subsequently, Palantir lost more than 80% of its value from January 2021 to December of 2022. So this year alone, in 6 months, Palantir is up more than 142%. Yes, you have heard it right, 142%. So one thing for sure though, Palantir is not a stock for the faint-hearted. That said, I know something that is for everyone, regardless of your heart condition. It's the like button, of course. Don't forget to smash that cute little like button. I mean, the subscribe button is just nearby as well. So, back to the story. What is Palantir's story? Essentially, Palantir is a big data analytics company that is built on a SaaS business model. SaaS meaning software as a service. So as Palantir claims, they do not collect or sell the data that they actually process. But instead, what they do is just to provide the platform for enterprises to feed their internal data and to formulate insights. So Palantir actually operates two main business arms, namely Gotham and Foundry. So Gotham primarily engages your high-level government agencies, including the CIA, FBI, and NSA. Yeah, pretty much all your top secret departments. And that also speaks volume in terms of the trust and the relationship between Palantir and the US government. So Palantir was also one of the 3 firms that managed to obtain an IL-6 authorization from the Defense Information Systems Agency, alongside Microsoft and AWS. And this allowed the 3 of them to process and to store data with classification levels up to secret. I wonder how much dirty secret of the US government they have. So Foundry, on the other hand, is their analytics platform targeted at the private enterprises, with the same core capabilities of both integrating and interpreting data before transforming them into actionable business insights. So they describe themselves as having the ability to create some sort of a digital twin of the company's data infrastructure, which then enables them to basically test and simulate different scenarios and strategies in this digital twin simulation. So Palantir calls this ontology, which is the study of existence and relationships. So think about it, if you're a Fortune 500 company CEO, would you want to have such an AI capability? So I hope that I haven't lost you after this mumbo jumbo. So I know investors describing Palantir often sound extremely smart because they name drop a lot. And sometimes I find myself caught between many of these sophisticated terms. So regardless, as an investor, I'm only concerned with one most important thing, which is money, or cash flow or profits, however you want to see it. So behind all these abracadabra, see, even I'm starting to speak gibberish. Anyway, I do believe that there is definitely a demand and utility for Palantir's software and services, and there are many successful use cases through the various partnerships that they have established with many of the different enterprise customers. However, I still find it a challenge to truly understand how their software works. So this comes on top of spending several hours on their product demonstration and explanations by industry experts on various forums. So I believe that unless you're in the industry itself, I think it's quite hard for you to have a solid grasp of what exactly they're doing and what is their competitive advantage. So intuitively, I think potential investors can ask themselves some of these questions to essentially try to get even more data points and to understand the competitive advantage of Palantir. Firstly, are more customers feeling the pressure to take up Palantir's solution because their competitors are doing so? And this is a very good data point because if a particular company in an industry is using Palantir and they feel like they're losing out, everyone in that industry will start adopting Palantir. Number two, are customers spending even more money because they see that what Palantir can bring? Number three, is Palantir able to scale their software effectively? And the list goes on. And through these many questions, you are basically just trying to figure out one thing. How much more profits can Palantir actually drive home? So on most counts, you can actually see that Palantir enjoys a steady increase in customer count, increase in billings as well, positive revenue growth, and heck, they even just turned GAAP profitable 2 quarters back. Then some of you might be wondering and asking, hey, if everything is growing and everything is fine and dandy, why is the stock price still down from its 2021 highs? Essentially, it might be the case of a disparity between expectations versus reality. So back in 2020-2021, Palantir was actually growing at a north of 40 to 50%. Adjusted income and free cash flow also swung to the positive, and it seems as though many enterprises can't wait to jump onto Palantir's software platforms. Back then, Palantir's price to sales ratio was close to 40 times because their prospects were as good as it can get. Post-2021, however, their revenue growth rates started slowing down significantly, and in the latest quarter, they actually reported an overall 18% growth, coming well under the 30% annual revenue growth forecast out into 2025 by their own management team. You see the disparity now? 18% versus 30% expected. However, I still think that there are several elusive elements that continue to make Palantir an attractive company today. So first things first, I believe that many of you would agree that we are living in an increasingly destabilizing world. So from the COVID pandemic to the Russian-Ukraine conflict to now, even the increasing US-China tension that is escalating by the day. And since Palantir has a rather intimate relationship with the US Defense Department, we can probably make the case that Palantir might actually flourish in an increasingly chaotic and challenging environment, plausibly benefiting from a potential increase in military spending sometime soon. So Alex Karp, the CEO himself, proclaimed that Palantir will be the most important software company in the world. Yes, the most important. How confident? And I like this man. So I did hear from somewhere that the crazier your hairstyle, the smarter you are. Do comment down below if you agree. Secondly, Palantir is considered one of the leading data analytics company that employs next generation AI capabilities. So the current top 20 clients spend around $50 million a year, which is a clear indication of the value Palantir is delivering to the market. If they're unable to deliver at least 50 million of value, all these Fortune 500 companies wouldn't be spending so much on Palantir. The concern now would be how far and how fast they can scale their business, which would be translated to much more revenue and bottom line profits, which would be accrued to shareholders. Thirdly, Palantir is definitely riding on this current AI wave, where every single company on planet Earth is focusing on harnessing any forms of AI technology. And it does seem like we are currently just at the start of this S-curve. So this would also be an indication of how big the total addressable market will be. Because it might seem as if right now, only MNCs and large government bodies can afford their services. Let's circle back to our very first question. Is Palantir going to kill off Microsoft? So at least for now, I don't believe so. So both of them have a fundamentally different business model and philosophy. One is B2C, which is business to consumer, while the other is B2B, business to business. So they are also at a very different business life cycle and vastly different scale and reach. So Microsoft is also largely diversified into software, hardware, gaming, productivity, operating system, and the list goes on. They're both largely considered software companies, but they are definitely of very different makeup. In fact, there is an entire discussion thread that was triggered in the Palantir community around Palantir being a potential AI imposter. So to me, I do see Palantir as some sort of a hybrid between Microsoft and Accenture. They are a software company first, but not in a conventional way, if you were to compare it like Microsoft or even Adobe. Yet at the same time, they do feel a little bit like a consultancy company that has the superior capability to build and also tailor software solutions for their clients. Yet, they're also not entirely just a conventional consulting company. So if you'd just like to focus on a standalone product, like the article suggested, comparing just Microsoft Excel with a full-fledged program or platform that is being built in-house by Palantir, I have no doubt that the utility of Palantir will easily trump just a few in-house Excel spreadsheets. So to answer the question, I do believe that Palantir will continue to push the boundaries of data and predictive analytics. But comparing Palantir with Microsoft today might not serve much meaning, as I see them fundamentally striving to achieve differing objectives. So I spent hundreds of hours looking into resources found in blogs, articles, industry opinions, forums, YouTube videos, and even demo materials from Palantir themselves. And this is probably just the beginning. I hope you enjoyed my simplified analysis of the company, and through the research process, while I was diving deep into Palantir's business, I've actually noted down a few key issues that I'm slightly concerned about. So if you're interested in my worries of Palantir today and how I actually look at their valuations, feel free to comment part 2 in the comment section down below. And also, if you're keen to invest or trade Palantir stock, do check out Piranha Profit's upcoming live online event, the 6th Wave, where our 7-figure trading mentor, Elson Chiu, will share how he recently made a whopping $150,000 in profit from his Palantir play. Slots are limited, so register now using the link in the description below. So with that, this is CK from Piranha Profits, and as usual, until next time, keep winning.